ride with us? Ride with us. Oh yeah. Do you wanna ride with us? Ride with us.
Hello everyone, it's Craig from Flying Wheels here in a 2010 F150 Platinum. I buy a ton of these things, I sell a ton of these things, but what you'll see in rusty areas, salt-ridden parts of the country, is rust. It's awful, it's crazy. Shame on you, Ford, for making a truck that will do this so fast. This is 2010, it's 2018. Look right here, you can see this front bumper, how awful looking it is. Now, this isn't just a rare case. It isn't just this car right here. It's every single F-150 I buy, always. So I have to replace them every single time. Look at the rear bumpers. Same thing. Actually, this one's in pretty good shape, but you'll see it starts to get a little rusty around here, around the sensor, and around the trim, and that's what it looks like. Now, no one's gonna buy this thing looking like that, so I have to fix it. So here's a video on how to fix it yourself. I just want to mention this process also works with chrome bumpers and matte black bumpers. It doesn't necessarily have to be a painted bumper. They're all exactly the same as far as removal and installation. So first things first, you're going to see that bumper and it looks like one piece. It's actually not. It comes in two pieces. So if it's just one side, you can replace one side. If it's both sides, you can replace both sides. You can buy them individually or as a package. Now going to the front bumper, it is all one piece, so you're going to have to remove the whole thing. That black trim around the bottom, we can salvage. We're going to reuse that. You'll see we have the new one here painted already. We did a base coat, clear coat, so two-stage paint job on this. If you're doing it at home, you can do it yourself with a single stage that you can buy a spray gun from. I'll show you how to do that shortly, or you can even do it with like a Duplicolor can that you can get at your local parts store. Not preferred, but if that's your last case scenario and that's all you can do at home, you can do it that way too. If you go to the dealer, this front bumper is going to be insanely expensive. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I got this one on eBay. You can get them on Amazon too. I think I paid $179 shipped for it. Now here we go with the rear bumpers. Like I said, they come in two pieces. We've already sprayed them with a base coat, clear coat. These come in two sections. Again, you buy these at a dealer, they're gonna be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I shopped them around. I think I paid $189 for the two shipped. We did spray them. You can see they came out pretty nice. To find your paint code, open up your driver front door. You're gonna see a badge right here. Head down to right here, you'll see EXTPNT. That's exterior paint. My paint code is UX. Yours might be different depending on your paint color. Here we have selections of paint. This you can get from your local parts store. It comes in a perfect match. You can get your paint code. You'll see a paint code right there. You can get that at an AutoZone or a Pep Boys, any other parts store in your town. Get it as an exact match. You're gonna go through several cans of that, and I would recommend spraying a clear coat can over it. Now this perfect match from Duplicolor is actually a factory direct match. It's really consistent with the factory color, so if you can find this in your color, that's a very easy choice. Next is your custom spray can. This comes from more of your specific parts stores like Center, Sanel's, Napa. This SEM can is a much better quality. They will custom make this for you. You give them the paint code and they'll make it for you. Then we have our single stage paint right here. This is a single stage application, which means you're spraying a few coats of the same paint. The clear coat is in the paint itself, and then even though this is escalated, the idea is the same. This is a base coat, which we'd spray several applications of this, and then several applications of a clear afterwards. If you want to try your hand at actually spraying the paint on a bumper, a gun like this is simple. You can get it cheap at one of your local parts stores or Harbor Freight. They're not much money. It's a good way to learn how to spray paint. So with the hood open, there are two 8mm bolts right here, one here, and there's a 10mm that holds the latch on too. You'll see we actually used our lift, but you can do this by hand on the ground. This bumper looks like there's a lot to it, but for it to come off was actually fairly easy. You'll see all this hardware in here. Save it because you're going to use that on the new bumper. The fog lights, we just reached underneath behind and disconnected the headlight, the fog lights. And then here, and on both sides, you have two 21mm bolts. So if you just reach around behind with a 21mm socket, you'll be able to get the bolts off on both sides. You have one here, here, and on the other side, here, and here. And then the bumper is ready to be pulled off. And once you pull it down, you'll see the air deflector is just fastened with some plastic fasteners, so you can just remove those fasteners yourself. So once the bumper is off, the rest is self-explanatory. You'll see all the bolts and clips. Just remove everything, put it onto your new bumper, and then we can install those 21mm bolts and the 8mm. The rear bumper has now already been removed. You'll see right here on this mounting bracket 3 holes, and then on that side there's 3 21mm bolts on each side. Inside, you'll actually see right here is a wiring harness too. You're going to need to unplug this wiring harness. So we've already removed it, so I'll show you exactly what we were doing on the bumper. You'll see the 2 sections came off, as well as the plastic trim piece, which is all right here. So here's that wiring harness I was telling you about. You're gonna need to disconnect that to remove everything. Your 3 bolts with a 21mm nut on each of them are connected right here. Once you get that undone, you'll see the clips. These are just pop clips. You'll be able to pop these off of each side of the metal bumper cover. It comes with the trailer hitch as well. Now the bumper is actually held in. You'll see once the clips are off, that harness will disconnect the sensor, by the way. That's what that is for. You'll see a bolt here and a bolt here that holds your bumpers on, and then this clip as well. That's all it is. So once you remove these from either side, you disconnect the sensor harness, you pull everything off, and you can get to the bumper areas here and on the other side, and then remove these clips. Just if you have a flathead screwdriver or a pry bar at home, you can pop those all off and then reverse the process. Finished product. So you can see it looks brand new again. The few $100s it cost me to buy these front and rear bumpers, plus a few hours labor and some paint, made this truck worth thousands more and way easier to sell. Just aesthetically, first impressions when people come up and see this truck, they would have initially spotted the rust spots. Now they're just not going to notice it. By not noticing it makes it worth a heck of a lot more, because they're not going to pick it apart. Not that they're going to say, I can't sell it and say it has brand new bumpers, although I will tell them that. That doesn't make it worth more money, but rusty bumpers makes it worth significantly less. So now we just increase the value by replacing these bumpers and having them sprayed, making it look perfect again. Front bumper, rear bumper. And we did coat this with like a truck bed coating, the black plastic, just to make that nice and clean too. So that is how you replace the bumpers on your F-150, bring it back to life, get some love back to your vehicle. If this vehicle was at all helpful, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up so other people get to see this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun car videos, tricks, and tips. Thanks everyone, and see y'all later.